Hello, everyone. This is Tara here, and before you get into this episode, I just wanted to let y'all know about audio issues that happened. I have no idea what happened, but for about halfway through the episode, or at least 27 minutes in, Zanny's audio was just a little bit off, and I didn't realize how bad it was until after 27 minutes. So after that, the audio gets way better, and I had to use her backup audio. So just bear with us and just sit back and listen to a good episode. So thank y'all for understanding. I have two special guests in the audience. We have Slurpee.
Yeah. The eyes.
And we have Gurgle.
Oh, I love Gurgle. I love Slurpee, not gonna lie. Slurpee's a mood.
That's Slurpee is for those who are just listening, Slurpee is a mummy succulent that I bought at Target, and Gurgle is a cauldron that is in a holder. I fucking love these bitches.
Hello, everybody. Hello, uglies, and welcome to Stand the Light, a horror genre podcast hosted and created by me, Tara Card. And every week I bring in a guest to talk about something horror genre related. Now it's turning into Kermit the Frog. For the next 8 weeks, I will be bringing in a guest. I gotta stop.
Every week, I usually have a different guest, but Zanny is here to review the Dragula series with me, which is what we are doing today. We are going to be reviewing Season 4, Episode 2 of Dragula. Yes! For those who are listening in the future, the post of the episode was late by 40 minutes. They keep saying that it's going to be 12 Eastern time. It is not. And then they're like, it's up on the website. And I went on the website and it was there for 1 second and then completely disappeared. So I had to wait another 20 more minutes.
I love that for you and us.
How are you doing, Zanny?
I'm good. I flew back into town today.
Yes, you did.
Which was not supposed to happen. The way that life was not in my favor, but I made it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here, and I'm content with that.
The feeling is mutual for me, too. I've been sewing. I sewed for like 7 hours straight today.
I'm so into sewing right now.
I'm not. I'm not right now. I've been sewing this freaking cape.
Oh, but it's everything. It is everything. You should.
It looks
show
great.
A sneak or no? Or are you not going to show a sneak?
I mean, by the time this episode's out, like, it'll be like one day before I wear it. It is kind of like a cool shoulder moment. This is the back, and then it's my Leatherface outfit. Oh, not the belly cam. Different patches of faux leather and vinyl that are in different skin shades. I used this like gray one to look like dead skin. So yeah, that's the whole cape that goes from my head to the ground. I'm really tired. Are you doing anything for Halloween?
I'm performing, but that's about it.
Period. Speaking of performing, I just saw Zanny twice last week. On Wednesday, we had a gig together, which was interesting. And then we also had a gig in Hattiesburg. Well, I didn't have the gig. I just showed up in drag. And we both met Saint.
Yes, we did. Finger snaps for us.
Did you say snaps? Because earlier when I was sewing, the thread snapped up and sliced into my finger.
Did you say sliced? Because earlier I had a sandwich that had a slice of cheese on it. That's crazy. You should sign all of your garments with like a little prick of your blood and then like a little stamp on the fabric.
I'm good. So we met Saint. How did you feel about like your interactions with Saint? I mean, you probably had more than I did backstage, but I was late for the meet and greet because the meet and greet was at 5:30 p.m. and I live in Florida, and that is 2 hours and 40 minutes away. Roughly 3 hours. I definitely missed that, and I was like, oh, can I get a photo with you? I live in Florida, and I missed the meet and greet. That was 3 hours early for some reason.
Yeah, the meet and greet was a little wild. When I did not know that, like, being in the show, and then someone was like, oh, yeah, the meet and greet's at this time, and I was like...
Not gonna be there. Not going to be there.
So I'm, like, I don't know who was there. I loved it. They were really sweet and really kind and really, like, humble. Just, like, a fun person to be around. Just very down to earth. Which, I mean, I think we all knew that in the first place, but it's just, like, crazy to be around them and it just be natural.
You and Darius were taking photos, and I was like, Darius, do you mind getting this photo? And he was like, yeah, just wait. And I was like, okay. And then Saint came out and was like, are we taking this photo or not? And I was like, I ain't trying to get this person to take the photo. And the photo that was taken was just like me, like worried that I had like had her waiting. My face looked so
Your
bad.
face, you said,
I felt like I looked like an idiot. I lost a
no.
nail, but Saint was really cool. We were even talking after when they were out of drag too. Really sweet. So, did you have a good trip in general? Very
I
busy.
I did. It was very busy. I am glad to be home. I am super tired. I think I'm gonna unplug after this for like at least a day. Well, no, I can't because then there's another Spooky Bean coming to Kansas City tomorrow, so I'm gonna spend some time with them. Fingers crossed and go
Who
see
is
them.
it?
Dahlia.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
So after that, then I'm gonna unplug, and then we're gonna disappear for a day. But yeah, it was a
Oh
fun
yeah,
trip.
she was on Dragula. Yeah, she was.
Oh yeah, she made it to the top. It's whatever.
She did? Oh, I'm cutting all of that out. I'm cutting. Yeah, wait, did she really? Oh yeah, she did.
I feel like this moment was our this moment.
I guess so. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so
Anyways, ciao. Anyway.
Dragula's season 4, episode 2. Formaldehyde is gone. Everyone is. Oh, there's the Boulets. They had their sketch on the beach, which is a little foreshadowing for what the theme is today.
Which can I just say, like, I low key kind of love these little skit moments. Like,
Well, this one was extremely short, which made it 10 times better than the last one.
very that. Because when I
Like,
first saw it, I was like, oh, we about to waste 30 minutes. But then I was like, no, this is actually really cute.
well, this episode was 10 minutes shorter than the last one, which I'm pretty sure 10 minutes was.
We know why.
Well, it definitely didn't go to the runways. My God.
Ugh. Yeah, I would have liked, I know we'll get to it at that point, but I would have liked a little bit more time to see the garments.
Yeah, that was the main criticism for every season, so I'm kind of annoyed that it happened again. First thing I said was I love the table talk room, the boudoir. I don't know how
Oh,
to
very
spell
that. It's
boudoir.
beautiful.
The audio, though, in that room is atrocious. The intern on set, please fix that. And you know what? While you're there, can you tell the intern at Shudder to get their shit together, too?
She's literally, or they, whatever the intern is literally sitting there like this right now.
Oh, yeah, the intern listening to this podcast. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking to you, Clefortha. That's their name. Mary is like, I'm glad that they saw your outfit before it fell apart to Astrid. Very shady. Mary is very shady this episode.
Can we just also, speaking of that, can we just talk about how 10 minutes later, I think it was Sigourney was like, or no, it wasn't Sigourney. It was Lazava. It was someone was like, you had to zip tie your belt to your garment, and then you were crying about it because it didn't fit right. Well, it was too. They said it about Mary, so I was like, how are you gonna read?
Oh, yeah, it was Sigourney. I'm pretty sure it was Sigourney at Mary, because Mary had said something about like, oh, I wish I just showed my boobs, and Mary was like, I didn't want to come off as I was saying that you're an AFAB performer. That's not why I dislike that. And then someone was like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, she dislikes you for something else. Like, it was like a joke or something. I
Yeah,
don't fucking know. Mary was on one today.
she woke up and she done already done had hers. Is
She chose violence today. Also, one thing that stuck out to me was Astrid was like, it's all about the look. And Mary Cherry was like, I think entertainment is a big thing. And Astrid said, drag isn't about entertaining people. I said, girl, what?
that was a little confusing. And they're like, aren't you supposed to be? Aren't you a singer?
Yeah, Sigourney was like, bitch, aren't you in a band?
The comments that I was like, this is not landing the way that I think they're planning it. They intended for it to land.
Their speeches later, I feel like they thought they were doing something.
Very
They were
that.
not. They were
Very
not.
that. Like, it gave me very Alaska, I'll Venmo you the money if you let me, that kind of energy.
And everyone just staring.
Yeah.
They also talk about Astrid and Hoso's side romance that goes nowhere. Bitter talks about her look, and then she felt some sort of way about other people being safe, but she didn't say any names. Saint talks to Coco, and it was like, yeah, tell us, like, how was it being, like, doing your look? And she was like, well, Elvira. And I was just like, and everyone in the room was like, Elvira?
Elvira, girl. You mean Morticia? I think they just got distracted in the wordings.
They haven't revealed who was eliminated yet. Usually it's the person who walks in. For those who've never watched Dragula, it's the person who walks in the next day and they know, oh, okay, the other person got eliminated by default. They're not here. So Coco and Sigourney are like, yeah, I hope Zavaleta doesn't come back because that bitch was talking a lot of shit.
Coco said, because that was like a good quote. They said, she's got a lot of fire in her and I don't like getting burned.
They spoke very loud because if you cannot tell by the set design, the walls are very thin. And Zavaleta comes in and she's like, girl, you know, I heard everything. And she even she quotes Nicki Minaj and goes back to this bitch that had a lot to say about me in the press the other day. Sigourney was good. Also, Zavaleta said that during the challenge, she peed herself, the Extermination challenge, so...
Very that, which I was like, I want to see the facts. I want to see the spreadsheet.
Oh, and she also said, like, they were, like, really buried because they felt, like, the dirt, like, coming in the coffin.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know if they were, like, actually buried or if they just were, like, they threw sand on top of it, you know? When we watched that episode, I was like, that is not 6 feet under.
Well, okay, there's a difference between, like, 6 feet under and then still being buried. Like, maybe they were still buried to an extent, but not 6 feet under.
Yeah, I fully think... This is conspiracy theory. I fully think there was somebody outside that coffin with like a speaker that was playing like drill sounds, and then was like taking sand and like throwing a little bit of sand on top to give it like that little like that edge. Which like it's all about perception. If I was in that coffin, I wouldn't be thinking that. I definitely would be like, oh my god, they're screwing me in. Oh my god, they're burying me alive. So like I get that, but I don't think it was as intense as that. You know.
Well, speaking of intense, this challenge is not intense at all. It is the Boule Brothers. They come out. Well, they really don't come out. It's just a TV.
A really big TV.
So a projector.
Yeah, it was. I was like, wow, they are big. A really big TV.
Wow. The theme this week is a beach party. Nosferatu beach party, which just means like a vampire beach party.
So they had to do a music video, and they also had to do it was like a duet in which they had to do a little bit of choreography, and they had to like do a little performance together. So and it was, I think it was like you said, it was like a vampire beach, you know, Nosferatu like kind of vibe.
Like pool, like a beach party, vampire beach party.
I didn't really understand it, to be honest, until I saw it, and then when I saw it, I still didn't understand it. But I think someone understood it, and that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Oh, but before they go back to the workroom, what is something big news that they drop on them?
Oh, a little baddie bean comes back.
This is when you elaborate. Yeah, there you go.
Dolly enters. They looked so good. I was so good to see them. They looked so happy and positive and like just beautiful, and it was a good moment. It was a full circle moment.
I don't know why they didn't just have them the first episode, though.
Same.
I was very confused as to why they brought Dolly out on the second episode, because even if she was, like, if there was 11 competitors the second episode, or the first episode, they would have had 10 and would have still been fine for this challenge.
I think it probably was for the views, honestly, like the gaggeroni of it. There was so much happening in episode 1 that, like, to have this in episode 2, everyone's gonna be like, you know, I think it was to help dilute the saturation of surprises.
But they didn't get any promo. They didn't get any promo from it. They weren't in Entertainment Weekly. Like, they weren't getting the promo that everyone else was getting, which was the same issue with Cynthia Lee Fontaine on season 9, and then BB Zahara on All Stars 3. Like, to keep it a secret, like, just, I feel like it kind of just, like, backfires promotionally for the entertainers.
Because I would have severe FOMO to be laying in bed at 2 a.m. looking at Entertainment Weekly knowing that I'm in the gig, but I'm not in that gig. I would be like, you'd see me Photoshop myself on Entertainment Weekly and be like, if only this was me. And then everyone would laugh, and then the next week I'd be there.
But you wouldn't. So, Dolly is, what's her name's drag mom? Astrid's drag mom. And that's, like, something for them to look forward to. And they have a mini challenge, but it's not called a mini challenge. It's called a fright feat. Did you catch that?
I didn't. Like I didn't. I knew they kept saying it, and it was agitating that they weren't calling it a fright feast. That was
feat.
Like F-E-E-T.
F-E-A-T. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like a fright feature, I'm assuming. Fright feat, aka their mini challenge, is to eat a garlic, like a raw piece of garlic, and drink pig's blood.
Yeah.
So whoever wins that gets to determine the group. So They all go back to the boudoir, and they're like, oh my god, Dolly, anyways, let's do this challenge. And Dolly is cute, I ain't gonna lie.
Very that. I put Dolly is back, baby. Yes.
So they're all doing this challenge, eating the garlic and drinking the pig's blood. Everyone is gagging, throwing up, except for one person.
Very that.
Which,
I was like, y'all are making like, I don't think it was a pleasant experience for anyone, but like the way that one person literally was like, while everyone else was like, like dying and walking away, but like, I can't do this. I was like,
okay, Zanny, you keep doing like people are. This is
people are
audio
listening, yeah.
podcast.
My eyes were just like left, right, left, right.
Yeah.
It was delusional.
I was like, and then I was like, and I was like, yeah.
Which had her being all like,
I literally hate you. So, but I think so. Zabaleta was the one person who was like not. She was focused on eating this shit and drinking this shit because she knew she had to prove something and that this would give her an advantage, which works out in her favor.
Very much so.
She does well in the challenge. I think she does well in the challenge.
No, my notes was that I was incredibly impressed with them this episode, and I'm starting to open up to them a little bit more. They gave me a lot of depth this episode that I didn't expect to see. So, like, they are definitely coming very quickly back into my top spot.
I told you. I said maybe like they might have some self-discovery thing in the next episode. Sigourney in the beginning was like, wasn't it funny how she was talking all this shit and was like up for extermination? What a dumb idiot. And Astrid was even like, yeah, girl, sit there and eat your food.
You done goofed yourself.
Yeah, so Zabaleta, she chooses Saint for a partner, which I would have done the same fucking thing. She pairs Mary up with Coco, which is interesting later on. She pairs Sigourney up with Astrid, Dolly with Hoso, and Bitter with J. Jolie, which, yes, J. Jolie is in this episode. She says like 5 words, and that's about it. When they all pair up, they're like, Astrid is like, do y'all think that your pairing is going to be okay? And then Mary goes like, I don't think y'all will be okay. And so like they're continuing to have a conversation. And then Mary's like, I know y'all can hear me. Like to Sigourney and Astrid, it was really fucking weird.
Yeah, the vibes were a little wild, but like I think the pairings were honestly like not bad. Like,
they were pretty random.
Yeah. But also like I was like, this does not seem like, I was like, this looks, I don't know, like to me they kind of made sense. In my eyes.
To me, they seemed random. Like, the only one where I saw strategy behind was, like, picking Saint. Because, like, Saint just won Resurrection. Yeah, I'm about to pick that bitch.
I think that was really good for Saint, because I remember Saint saying in the thing, they were like, yeah, like, I don't know how I'm going to feel being, put with someone who's, like, directly in the bottom. But, like, if you think about it mentally, like, that person is going to have such a better arc, because they have so many spots to fill, If they came in 4th, they did better than they did the week before.
Yeah.
So that's like honestly one of the best partners to have.
And if I saw Saint, I would work on not on my arc, but on my arch.
Oh.
Booty? Booty so big.
Chloe's like, you guys stole my lyrics.
Now they're all working on their choreography and stuff, which looks very awkward in the boudoir. Coco and Mary have no strategy. Coco seems like not interested, but at the same time, Mary is like, well, what are we doing, girl? And it's like, well, let's feed each other some energy. It's symbiotic, not parasitic.
Like it was obvious that Coco wasn't going to lead, but Mary was like, well, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? And at that point, if that was me, I would have been like, so this is what we are doing.
Especially from someone, because Mary has been bragging like, bitch, I'm the queen of Brooklyn. I've been doing this for 10 years. It's like, well, bitch, if you the entertaining queen, you better lead this motherfucking team.
I know one choreographed number. And you best believe if I was in that situation and I was like, I don't know what we're doing, I'd be like, okay, so this is what I know. And it's like a little 1, 2, 4 step, and it's what we do all the time back home. We're going to implement it to this song, and we're going to get through it. Like, we got to win.
Honestly, the choreography that some of them were doing was not
hard. I wouldn't call it choreography at all. I would call it floorography, standography.
I would call it backup singerography.
Yeah.
Is the backup singer going like the swish to the left?
It was very right, Hillary Duff and SNL in the early 2000s kind of energy.
No, it was very Hillary Duff when it's like, just go with love.
Even
If y'all
that
know
was,
that fucking
yeah.
meme.
But I love how Saint said, I have strict plans and strategies, let's go. Like, Saint just wasted no time.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like, I know what to do. And also, like, Mary is also. We get a lot of Mary and Coco this episode, which made me very, very fucking nervous. Because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what is going to happen.
I, like,
Uh,
felt the foreshadowment, and I was not a fan.
Yeah, no, I was not. Mary's basically being like, you need to have hair like Betty. And Coco's like, well, I don't have that hair. Because none of them have matching outfits. It made it seem like they were making outfits, but no one has matching outfits. The only two people that have matching outfits aren't even on the same team. Jade and
Sigourney.
Sigourney. They
Yeah.
literally had the same outfit on for this challenge.
Yeah, because I put, you better match the umbrella, because when I saw that Sigourney come out, their outfit matched the umbrella, and then...
Oh, I didn't realize because the runway was 2 seconds long.
and then Jade came out, and I was like, oh, you're also matching the umbrella.
The next day they're doing their makeup. Dolly notices that Mary and Coco are struggling, and then there's not a lot of dialogue here. It's just like attention, and they go straight into the runways.
Yeah, they went straight into the runway of 30 seconds, and then the floor show.
We get the look of the Boule Brothers. So how did you feel about this Boule Brothers look?
I liked it actually. I mean, I'm impressed with everything they do. I
Yeah.
was noticing like their makeup the most. I just like loved the way it was blended, which I don't know why because most of their contour was covered by like that piece. But I think that's what drew my eye to it, where I was like, that's a good contour.
Yeah, I also like the subtle redness around the eyes. It's not anything crazy. Because I was watching the Resurrection special yesterday because I just felt like it. I watched it a few times. I liked the Resurrection special. Swan's makeup was different during that episode. It looked way different, and I think that it's looking a lot better now. I don't know if it was just because the headpiece she was wearing. I think that both their makeup looks really good, and their eyebrows look always like so blended. I'm like, how do you do that? I need to
Very
know.
that. Their makeup's always like stamped, and I am envious. I love it.
And who are our judges this week?
So I know we have Vanessa Hudgens. I'm so into Blood right now.
From
Troy is in trans rights. No, from High School Musical. Have you not seen that
No.
reference? There's like a thing where he gives her a necklace and she's like, "It's T. Is that T as in Troy?" And then somebody put like they erased the words. They put no, it's T as in trans rights. So
Oh,
that was the
thank you for explaining that meme that no one knows except for you.
yeah. It's one of my favorite memes.
The other judge?
I don't know her.
Her name is Gigi McGree, and I know her from nothing. I just
Yeah.
wrote down I don't know her.
Her energy, 10 out of 10. Loved it. I loved listening to her. I loved what she was wearing. I love everything about her.
That's fire.
Yeah, I did put that. I wrote that. I think that's fire.
Vanessa Hudgens says that's fire multiple times.
Yeah,
During
she
judgment.
was, she was living her best life. She was so happy for this.
And yeah, she does do a little reference to Drag Race because she said, I'm so into voguing when she was a judge on there, and she said, I'm so into blood right now.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. Even the Boule Brothers kind of laughed at it. These are going by fast because we get into the runways, right?
Yeah.
It's like 2 seconds, and then it's the next person. I said, how do I keep up? What the fuck?
I put the amount of teeth that I'm seeing in this, they better have been sponsored. Which again, it was like a vampire themed thing, but like everyone had fake fangs.
Did they get a prize? No, right?
No.
They didn't
not
get a
this-
prize.
Not this week, no. Maybe they did. Let's not speak it into the truth. But
No,
I'm
I don't
98%
think-
positive they did not get a prize.
They didn't say any prize. They didn't say the winner of this week will get a book by Hellraiser. I guess I'll just go by what outfits I have, and then we'll talk about the challenge. So, let's see, how can I do this?
Are they on
Okay.
this side or are they on this side?
They're on other side for you. There.
Good, this
So
is
my
great.
first look that I have here, it's not in any particular order, is Bitter Betty. And y'all, if you are looking at these photos, we pulled what we could. We had to just find a millisecond because this is 2:17 a.m. right after the episode, so we are just pushing through. Bitter Betty's look, she's wearing like a houndstooth swimsuit with a beehive 50s haircut.
It gave me very much the mom from that cartoon.
Bob's Burgers.
No.
But she does look like Linda. Bobby! But am I fucking wrong? Am I fucking wrong?
Yeah,
She
I get
looks
Linda.
like Linda.
No, the hotel. It's like I think it's the Hotel Transylvania mom.
You don't have to look it up. I don't care.
You said, bitch, don't waste your time.
Don't even waste your time.
It's not Hotel Transylvania. It's
but
like the
she
Bride
looks
of
like
Frankenstein cartoon. She looks just like a spitting image of her.
she looks like fucking Linda from Bob's Burgers. This is not a good look, and she was in the bottom. I'm gonna say that now for a good reason.
Yeah, it was not. I don't get it.
And she's wearing like a cardigan, like a mesh cardigan with it. It's just not good.
There was a lot that I just don't mentally understand. Like there are a lot of them.
I guess we can talk about the performance now because I'm gonna forget about it later. So the performance, everyone, I thought they were individually, like as teams, going to lip sync
Same.
on their own, but no, all 10 people are on stage and they're just wobbling around
And like
doing their
and also
thing.
like staying in the same spot but doing like a motion here or there.
Yeah,
It was very much set up like that lip sync where it was like five people at once. Like my mind could not like focus, and then it was just not it. It was not it.
because I think they should have had their specific time in the song, and then it moves over to the next. I think just
Also,
artistic direction was just a little off.
they said it was like a duet, but it was only one voice, so it was weird to like they just passed the voice to the next person. So like it wasn't a duet. You just had them lip sync at the same time.
The song choice was weird, and just the direction of everyone was a little off too.
Yeah. I wrote wow, a music video challenge, dot dot dot. That's gonna be exciting.
Well, speaking of the challenge in regards to this look, Bitter Betty, look, she was like, the choreography was hard. She was really just swaying her arms back and forth. It wasn't, to me, did not look hard.
There was at
And
one
her
point
wig
when they
came
were
off.
like, it was like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Then I can't do that, and I was like, this is not choreography. I don't know what you like.
Bitch, this is rock, paper, scissors. Like, it is that easy. And she was like looking around at like Jade. Jade was like, oh, bitch, this is a cakewalk. I was on Drag Race. This
Yeah,
is a motherfucking
Contra Call is gonna
cakewalk.
watch this episode and go.
I'm not paying them.
Uh,
But yeah, I don't like this look from Bitter Betty.
no, it was not it.
Oh,
Like the one thing I will say about them, which it's like this part is right.
their face.
Yeah.
Zanny
I'm
is saying
sorry.
their face.
Their face, their hair, like the neck up
We're in
is
a
right.
podcast!
It's only audio. Yeah, neck up is right. I like their makeup. I like their the makeup. I like their hair, but that was it. Like you can tell they are very polished, and that is not what they need help with. But like their execution and their ideas are just not there.
Zanny, before we talk more about this episode, we are going to go to an ad break. And when we come back, we'll be talking more about the beach and vampires.
As we should.
Yep, there
As
we
we
go.
as we should. I love let's go to the beach, eat, let's go get away. Let's take a break.
All right, now Zanny, would you like to welcome us back into the podcast?
Yes. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and staying with us. It's me, Zanny X. We also have Tara Card here. We're about to dive back into the waters of this beach episode, going for a little swim in some Dragula season 4.
Dolly is next, and they did a Nosferatu inspired look with a trench coat, and then they also had a reveal into something it was like a bodysuit. I don't know. Really good. I love the characterization of Dolly's interpretation of the look. Those very kooky, a lot of personality that we did not see 4 years ago.
Very that.
I don't think you understand. Season 2 was 4 years ago.
4 years ago, season 2.
So when they're like, Dolly, you've changed, I'm like, yeah, a whole new there's a whole new president, girl. Like, it's been 4 years. But Dolly was really good in the challenge. I like their makeup style.
I love when
now.
they walked out. They like walked out on the runway, and the way they just their shoulders dropped when they like hit their pose. Like they were like walk, and they just
it was kooky. It was fun.
And there's like a scene where they peek over the surfboard. I was like, they're so adorable.
Well, they were channeling Nosferatu to like a T, like the characterizations, the body posture. It was really good.
They understood the assignment.
I hate that phrase. I understood the assignment. I hate that song. Assignment. Please stop trying to make that song happen on TikTok. All right, so up next we have Dolly's partner, which was Hoso Teratoma, and Hoso had 3 reveals. I only have one picture or 2 reveals. There was a couple of reveals. So Hoso had longer hair and a dress, took their wig off, which revealed a bald, like kind of like a swimmer's cap with hair underneath it, and then like a swimmer suit, and then like a life-saving Cheerio
Emblem.
looking thing, emblem that around them. Very cute look. The makeup, I think they could have done a little less intense makeup for this, but I think it was still good.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know what it was about like their cover up. It didn't read like beach cover up to me. It read more like slumber party nightgown. So that was a little confusing for me. And then like I loved the little lifeguard moment. That sent me. Like I was like, this is so funny and this is so stupid.
Yeah.
And like this is like something that like maybe it wasn't my best or my favorite costume, but it was like an idea that I was like, I like where this person is going. Like this was a different wheelhouse.
It was an idea that made sense for sure.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say to that.
You said, that is it.
So up next we have Bitter's partner, who was J. Jolie, and J. Jolie did first of all, the hair is amazing. It's like a ponytail with like curls in the front, and then her makeup, she's doing like a vampire
It gave me like a
green.
pastel bat kind of vibe.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if her whole body was the same color because there was different shades of lighting.
Yeah.
Because her face looks like it's like a pale blue, but I can't tell if her whole body's matching. And she's wearing a black and white swimsuit with a black and white bag, and she also has a coat too.
Which I liked her look. Her look I thought was cute.
Mhm.
I thought her look was very camp. I loved her makeup. I loved her attention to detail. It wasn't my favorite look, but it was very refreshing compared to what we saw on the stage. Like I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
You know?
I think her hair and makeup looks good. I think she did good overall. I mean, like I said, the choreography wasn't crazy, and she knew that too. So the fact that Betty couldn't keep up was like, okay, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah, I wonder if she does. I mean, I know you said this like a little bit prior. I wonder if she does have those moments where she's like, this is it.
You want us to eat garlic? Okay.
Yeah. Also, apparently when she was like, I ate maggots and I did
She
something.
fucked herself with bones on the last
Yeah,
episode.
I was like, I didn't see no bones.
Well, they do cut things out like that. Like Kendra Onyx on season 2, she had like barbed wire going into her vagina, and it was like super grotesque. But they were like, we have to edit that down. It's a no for me. So it was a good look. So up next we have Coco Kane, who was partners with Mary Cherry. So look alone, I like the ears, I like the boobs. It's a cute vampire look. I don't know if it correlates to the challenge that well of like beach, because like I wouldn't wear the thigh-high boots to the beach.
To the beach, eat, let's go get away.
Yeah, it would be very uncomfortable. So
yeah, the ears were probably one of my favorite prosthetics. Just like the energy of that. Thought that was
they were
so
bat
smart.
wings for those who don't know.
They were like huge, like red bat wings, or
kind of like a gremlin,
wings.
like gremlin ears.
Very that, and like the wig was their looks are so good, but it did not read beach theme to me in that moment, but it was still one of my favorite looks.
The corset, I think, is made out of like skin, right?
Well, yeah, it's like a skin, almost like a flesh, like skin body thing, which is wild.
I do like that.
Yeah, and it does give me like very like beach bodysuit vibe, but like there's something that could have there's an accessory that could have been there that was maybe just that would have maybe put it like the next step.
Yeah, and she was paired up with Mary Cherry in the challenge, and both of them were kind of, it was confusing watching them because like even the judges said like she was doing well, but she was being overshadowed, like outstaged by Mary, who was like in front of her. Like so when like she was doing like sexy things, she was out of frame or like behind Mary.
Yeah, which they show us a little bit of it. And I honestly think had they been in front of Mary or at a different spot, they probably would have been significantly higher in placement.
Yeah.
Because they were eating that floor show up, but they also
we just couldn't see it. Like when Mary Cherry was pouring the blood on her.
Yeah, see, that was when I was like, oh, we're gonna get something. Like we're gonna get something that we're not expecting. And then that was it.
And we said, period poop.
Period poop.
So up next, we have her partner, Mary Cherry, who is wearing an anglerfish outfit gown with a lot of beads and some sequins. It's like an iridescent, like purple green kind of look. I thought it was cute. I didn't think it was necessarily a bad look, but if we're all doing like, because it's vampires, right? Nosferatu. And the judges said this is different, so we did like that. But in regards to the challenge, is this a vampire? No, it is.
No,
It is a fish.
that was my thing. Is like the look wasn't even to me. It wasn't even my favorite look, and I didn't. There were things I could definitely see that could be better. It wasn't bad. It was not bad, and like their attention to detail with like the little lamp that was so fucking cute. I loved
Yeah,
that, but it was vampire, and to me, like it just was not. It was not the theme at all.
yeah.
If the theme would have been mermaids or sirens or mythological creatures or something like that, then I
Deep
would definitely been
sea.
a deep sea. It would have been a very high placement for me because that was a creative idea. It just wasn't what I thought it was. It wasn't a vampire look.
Before Vanessa and Gigi are actually talking, the Boule brothers are talking about some of the critiques, and they talk about Mary Cherry first. And they're like, she looked like she did not want to be there. She looked pissed. She looked like she was in her head a lot. And I'm very shocked that she was safe.
Same. Like they were like, you like, and Mary even admitted it herself. Mary was like, I didn't know my words. I messed up. I was mad. I didn't want to be there. Like she admitted it. And
Yeah.
then they were like, you're good. I do get, and I am glad that they did kind of that they were like that's the one thing that I like about the Boulets is that there is like a more personable connection to all of the gals and the ghouls and the beans. Like they're deeply connected. So there is like that moment where they're like, I know this isn't you, and I know you can do better. So I'm not gonna tear you down too hard. But contrary, contradicting that, it is a competition.
Yeah.
And if I was in that setting and I was in the bottom and I knew someone was told, like, you didn't give us what you did and you didn't do a good job at all, but we're going to save you because we know you're better than that.
Yeah.
I
I'd
would
be
have
like,
been like,
hello.
yeah, but it's a competition for $100,000 and they weren't what they were. So they need to go, you
Yeah.
know?
And even the Boule brothers, I don't know if they said it to her or just to themselves, but they were like, I don't give a fuck if you're a legend like in another place. You need to come here and lose that fucking mentality because I don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
And I loved that.
Same. In regards to this challenge, though, it doesn't make any sense. Up next, we have Astrid Aurelia. I don't have the full look pictured because we just could not get it because of the editing. She did a basic outfit. The Swan Thula girl, it looks like you were at a thrift store with this outfit on,
Yeah.
and it's exactly what it looked like.
Also, the makeup was not it. Nothing of it. Even the fang placement, like right there in the
Buck
front,
teeth.
buck teeth, Anastasia Beaverhausen, like it was not.
It was not a good look.
There was a lot of no.
And we'll get into the judges' critiques with her later. But also her and Sigourney's performance were not good either.
No.
I was like, I don't know what they're doing. They look clunky. They're just slapping their bodies together. It was unprofessional.
It was unprofessional.
Speaking of the devil, up next is Sigourney, and we didn't have her whole look, but it was very similar to J. Leeds. It was like the black and white stripe kind of look, very basic. It was a very
like it was
basic look.
cute, but it was that's the thing is like which is a thing that we saw in almost all of these looks was a very basic general concept. And like you're on Dragula.
Mhm.
Like, why are you not having fun? Like you're on you're on one where you can just do so much creative things and go so many different ways.
Mhm.
Why stick with just a basic generic bodysuit and fangs and call it a day?
Yeah.
Like Sigourney's such a creative person. They are so creative that I was like, that's what you brought?
Yeah. And I'm shocked that honestly, a lot more people did not incorporate vinyl. Like Saint was like the only person that used vinyl. Because when I
Yeah.
think of swimwear, I think of like vinyl, latex, plastic, and nobody hardly ever did that.
Yeah. I think they focused too much on I don't even know, like the campy beach energy that they forgot what the energy of the show was, you know?
Yeah. Also, sorry, I'm yawning. I'm tired. So up next we have Saint, who wore a cute little bat look made out of vinyl and had like little floaties on the side, and each floaty had a bat wing on it. And then Saint had this nice like curly, I can't tell if it's the hair or the glasses, but the glasses are bat wings. She has a hood head mask with like side bat wings in it. This And the judges used this word. This was fashion. This was what I needed from this runway. This was hands down the best look of the evening.
Yeah, it was iconic. The attention, the floaties with the bat wings, the glasses, the little red little whoop. I liked it. It was one of my favorite looks. I think that they are sickening. They know what they're doing. They know their vision, and like they had fun with it.
Yeah.
Like it was still camp, but it also was still drag, and then it was also still Dragula.
Yeah, and very fashion forward. Their partner was La Zabaleta, which Zabaleta's look wasn't necessarily groundbreaking, amazing. Loved her makeup though. Really
No,
loved
her makeup had me like blown away.
It was definitely an upgrade from last week.
Yeah, and her, I don't know, like they made a comment where they were like, I don't know if the judges made the Boulets made a comment. They're like, I don't know if her outfits are gonna be up to par for this season. And I was like kind of taken back by that because like it wasn't the best outfit, but compared to what we saw tonight,
yeah,
it wasn't
the worst.
It was far away from there. Like it was actually really good. And the way they executed everything in their vision was one of my favorite, if not honestly, was probably my favorite of the entire night.
Yeah.
Their energy was so captivating and was so everything.
Yeah. So Zavaleta and Saint were very good with their performance. They actually did do choreography. There was one bit where Saint bit into her neck and you see the blood coming out. Just really good.
That's when I wrote they won. I wrote they better win.
Yeah. I believe that was the looks. So what happens next is we have our safe entertainers. We have Mary Cherry, we have J. Jolie, and we also have someone else that I don't know. Jade. Oh, and Sigourney. Sigourney is safe.
Oh, yes.
Which Sigourney was like, girl, I thought I was on the bottom. And I was like, bitch, me too. Like,
we would same. I would have put her in the bottom. There were some people that I definitely would have put in the bottom. I would not have put Sigourney.
Since they were doing groups, they are being judged individually. So those are our safe people. And before, because no safe people, they hardly ever get critiques. However, before Mary leaves, the Boule Brothers made it a point to be like, your attitude in this challenge, you looked over it and you need to work on it. Okay.
Yeah. And they did it very nicely. They did it very, very, very soft. They just lightly were like,
yeah,
hey.
Because Mary listened to them. Keyword for later. So during the judges' critiques, we have our tops who are host of Teratoma, Dolly, Saint, and Saint's partner who was La Zavaleta. And our bottom three are Coco Kane, who I think should not have been there. Like out of all of them, I think maybe if we're gonna add another person, it should have just been two people safe, and Mary should have been there with her, if anything. And Astrid Aurelia is in the bottom, and Bitter Betty. Now, I'm not going to go into many people's critiques. I mean, Bitter Betty, her wig fell off. She was looking a whole mess.
See, her wig did fall off. I thought it was so funny when they put sunscreen on her head. Like, I was like, that's so funny because vampires can't be in the sun, and like, that's so stupid, and like, I would have expected that. I thought that was camp.
I didn't even see that, though. So that's how... It was probably like very like, oh shit, girl, my wig came off. It would have been better if she had a bald cap on and was like, I'm bald because I'm a vampire, like Nosferatu. Yeah, but that wasn't
cap.
No, that was just her regular wig cap. Like it was not planned.
The gag.
Astrid Aurelia, would you like to talk about her judges' feedback?
Linda should have just stayed quiet.
Girl, the way that Dolly was not saying anything. One thing that will upset Drac on any season is if you constantly are talking over them, and this has happened before with Monique Shame at the reunion and in this episode too. So when they're giving Astrid feedback, she was like, well, I was gonna do all this, but I thought I had to stoop down and be on the same level as my partner, but really I should just be thinking about myself. And Drac is trying to like talk, and then Astrid interrupts her, and then Astrid goes, oh no, you. And then Drac goes, okay, and begins to talk, and then Astrid interrupts her again. Girl, everyone in the room is staring at her.
Which also, like, from the sounds of it, we never got to hear what they were gonna say, but like it sounded like they were gonna be nice. Like the using context clues and like filling in the blanks. I thought it was gonna be like constructive criticism that was actually going to be like, helpful and nurturing and like a very positive way to go.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to say something rude or obnoxious or belittling. And I actually like put a note there where I was like, I do love how communicative they are. Like they're not reading or making jokes or making memes out of their girls. Like they're beings. Like they're their people. Like they're genuinely like, hey, like this is something you could focus on that we would love to see in the future. So it did kind of shock me that there was such a defensive response.
Yeah. It was a lot of energy, and I just knew the whole time, like looking at Dolly, she's probably like, oh my God, my kid is looking like a fool and making me look like a dumbass right now.
Very that.
Because that's exactly how Astrid looked in that moment, like a dumbass, like just being like, oh, I was gonna do this, oh, and then that happened, and I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for these meddling kids. Like
for these meddling kids, man.
Yeah. So they announced the winner, and our winner is
Drumroll.
no, not on the podcast. It's Saint. Thank you, Saint. You won nothing. You just got you won a challenge. You won nothing. Highly deserved. Didn't think it could go to anyone else.
I think I could have sent a few other people.
No, I don't think so.
I think if Dolly would have won, I would have been content, and if Zavali would have won, I would have been content as well.
Zavaleta. You say Zavali.
Zavali.
Zavaleta.
Zavaleta.
No, well, I mean, would I've been fine with them winning? Yeah, I guess. But I think Saint was the one who did the best in the challenge and wore the best outfit and did best with her partner.
Yeah. And they also they led. Like they were very much so like, again, like I have strict plans, follow me, let's go.
Yeah. And our two up for extermination are Astrid Aurelia and Bitter Betty. Coco is safe. Thank God. I was stressed out this whole fucking episode. I was please don't put this bitch in the bottom.
I had such an anxiety attack, and then I was like, oh no.
I found out that when they go backstage, it's called the Cauldron. I don't know how anyone found that out, but it's apparently called the Cauldron. Like, you know how Drag Race has Untucked? This is called the Cauldron. Astrid throws the biggest fits. And I think it's very ironic because last week they were like, Zavaleta, you're acting like a child. This, I feel like, was more of a Zavaleta's was more out of frustration of them wanting to stay. This one to me seemed different because it just seemed like, when a white kid is told no for the first time. They went up to Sigourney. It was like, I hate that you have control over me. And Sigourney was like, girl, what are you talking about?
Yeah, there were some things that they said that I was not a fan of at all. That was one of the biggest ones where I was like, that is a red flag. We don't do that.
Yeah.
But I did also write down, like, I don't like that they're obviously having like a mental breakdown and they're obviously having like a panic attack. And like, no one is kind of like being like, okay, wait, like everyone was coming at a very aggressive tone as well.
But did anyone use that good treatment to Zavaleta last week? They didn't.
Exactly. So it's very like,
but I feel like whenever I have a panic attack, I'm not constantly putting the people around me down.
Well, see, and that was the thing is when they made that comment to Sigourney and then they made that comment where like, and I was very proud. I actually put Zavaleta was like, we're not doing that.
Oh, because she said something. She's like, I'm actually here to prove something that I can do. And then
she said, and there are some people in this room who, and then like, they didn't even let them finish that sentence. They were like, what we're not going to do. And that was the moment when I was like, okay, wait, I'm really proud of this person for being the way that they are.
Yeah.
Because that was very valid.
Because Zavaleta was like, girl, what you're not going to do is like talk all these other performers down thinking you're hot shit when you finally got you finally got Cole for Christmas.
Yeah. And they were like, we all deserve to be here and we all worked hard to be here. And I was like, okay, I like this.
Yeah. And their extermination. What's their extermination? We didn't even say that.
Leeches. They had to submerge their body, their limbs into a vat of liquid that was filled with blood sucking little leeches.
Otherwise known as water.
What did I say?
You said a liquid. You made it seem like it was like punch or something.
Oh my God. No, this is so bad. I went swimming at the beginning of summer. This is a real short story. Instead of saying, do you guys want to go and get in the pool? Do you want to go for a dip? I said, do you want to go get in these liquids?
All right. So Bitter Betty is a little sad.
Could you imagine?
Thank you for your short story.
You're welcome.
You should write a book.
I
One
will.
day, like in like elementary, you'd be like, and today I had hung out with my hamster,
Hamster liquids.
and we went to the pool,
Oh,
and
the word
then
of this, we should do word
drink
of the podcast, and the word of this podcast should be
is
liquids.
liquids, liquids. All
If
right,
you mention
word.
liquids, you get a hug from us cyberly.
Yeah, not in person. COVID. So
COVID.
yeah, back to the episode. Both of them are like, I don't give a fuck about these leeches. I just don't want to go home. And Bitter Betty's like, bitch, they're not gonna keep me. I was in the bottom 3 last week and I'm in the bottom 2 this week. Why the fuck would they keep me? Sigourney just goes over to her because they're friends. And Sigourney's like, girl, I ain't even trying to acknowledge the other person in the room right now. That is Astrid. Because Astrid basically just told her to her face, fuck you.
Yeah.
I need to worry about me. I'm not here to impress the Boule. This is one thing she should not have said. I'm not here to impress Denali, or what's her name? Dolly, right? I'm not here to because bitch, there's Dahlia Black, there's
Yeah.
Denali, and then there's on season 12, I think there's a Denali on there, right?
I didn't watch. I think season 12 is Denali. Yeah.
No, there's Dahlia.
Oh, yeah.
From like
Yeah,
House of Aja.
yeah.
Dahlia Black, Denali, and then Dolly. It's fucking hard to keep track. But Dolly, she's like, I don't
So if
give
you want
a
to get on a
fuck.
show, you have to have the name Doll in your name.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm not here to impress Dolly. I'm not here to impress the fucking Boule Brothers. I was like, hello. That's the whole reason why you're fucking here is to
The
impress
production
them.
team said,
Copy that.
"Scrap her."
Boulette Brothers, did you hear that, dumb bitch? That was the dumbest shit she could have said. And I just said, this is very white girl being told no because she's just going up on everyone. And Dolly has literally said nothing.
Yeah. Well, that was the part where I was like, "Oh, this must have been real," because like I would have been like, "Snap out of it! Don't do that to me! Don't do that to yourself! Get out of it!" They did not show them comforting them once.
Well, and you were saying this like, oh, if they're having a panic attack, they should know how to comfort them. So if Dolly knows this bitch like that, I feel like, I don't know, like something seems a little off.
Yeah.
And then I also like Coco was like, well, girl, if you survive this extermination, you better come back a little bit more humble because this
I ate
is
that
not
up. See, what I think what it was is I think they were doing that for like, I don't want to say camera time, but I think in their mind, they're like, if I blow up and I have a moment, then it'll look better for my extermination. But then what I think happened is I think they tapped into something that was subconsciously real. And then it allowed those really ugly statements to pop out that they were like, this isn't what I was meaning for this to go. And then when they tried to do recovery, because it wasn't genuine, it just became super toxic and abrasive.
It didn't even seem like recovery. It just seemed like they were bashing on everyone and it didn't realize what they were saying was fucking rude as hell.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna look back at it and be like, I'm sorry.
Even like Zabaleta goes up to Hosa because Hosa's been comforting Astrid, and Zabaleta goes like, girl, don't get caught up in this bullshit because you love her, okay? Because she's gonna bring you down when you need to be high. So I did like that she brought her, like she said that to her. She's like, that's why I pulled your ass over here to talk to you about that because that's the real fucking tea.
I literally put love that they pulled her aside. I have a lot of respect for that. It was a good private conversation.
Yeah, it was because she was like, girl, you're all the way from Korea. Do not let this little white girl literally squander your chances of probably like winning this competition because really that's what Astrid was doing. She was throwing a big fit. It wasn't like out of like an insecurity of themselves. They were putting the blame on everyone else.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of projection.
It wasn't cute. So now we're up to the extermination. I don't like how this was edited because there was a lot of flashes how they were doing the extermination. So they had this basically a fish tank in front of them full of leeches, which I did not know that leeches like crawl up. I thought they just like went on and like sucked to your body and was like, that was it, right? No, they fully like they're putting their limbs in here. And it's shot 2 different scenes, so it's like one person goes, the other one goes. What were you thinking through this whole like watching them?
So not gonna lie, I was like, I would, if that was me, I'd put my whole face in there. Like I would have went balls to the wall, like let's go.
I would not, because what if it got in your eye?
Well, then I would definitely have made a mistake, Yeah.
I would have definitely,
in your mouth.
Yeah, don't put it in your mouth. That's gonna fuck you up. I would have put it on my body for sure. I would have just grabbed it all and just put it on my body.
One did get in on Bitter's like right here,
right
in
on
the chest
her breast.
area.
And she pulls it off.
Yeah, that was when I was like, okay, they're fine. And then when they were holding them, I was like, the part of me that loves animals is like, don't you dare hurt these things. But then I was like, if you eat them, that would be so full circle moment because it's a leech and I would have been gagged. But I was like, thank you for not doing that because I
Also,
would be.
not you being like, don't hurt these animals as they're literally hurting the contestants.
Yeah, but the contestants put themselves in that environment. The animals didn't choose that.
Well, they just put their arms in there and the leeches were like, not you being like, the parasite has feelings too.
They use them to help people in hospitals. I read about it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I kind of figured that as soon as Bitter Betty put her hand in that, I was like, well, after she grabs her, like the leeches in her hand. Actually, when I saw that they were going up Bitter Betty and were on her body, I was like, she is about to send this bitch packing.
Very that.
Because I would have like literally just started like picking them up and just putting them on my body.
That's what I would have been like.
And I don't like Bitter Betty. I really don't care for her. I think she's a bitch. But I will admit that she kind of killed this fucking extermination. And that's what happened. Like I said, this extermination was filmed pretty short, like probably a minute. Kind of cut to the beginning of the Boule Brothers skit. And they're like, who's that bitch over there? And it turns out to be Astrid Aurelia. Gag. She's eliminated. She just won last week. I think this is going to shake the other girls in their boots.
Very that.
On episode 3, they're going to be like, all right, we know for sure track records don't mean shit on this show.
Yep. And none of us are safe.
Which I agree. If I was backstage and I was a judge and they're like, I don't give a fuck what Judge A thinks or Judge B thinks or Judge C thinks. I'm like, then why the fuck are you here? Oh,
and
you don't
that
care.
studio
You don't
space
care
is
what
small.
we
They
think?
probably were on the other side of that wall being like,
oh yeah, because they just stepped off. They just stepped off. So you know
Yeah.
the Boule brothers were like, is this bitch stupid? Is
Like, I'm
this bitch
right
for
here.
real? Gag that she went home. Who do you think will go home next?
ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Like, it's very, like, it's gone. The people that I thought were going to be safe are going home.
When I watched the episode, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, no. That's what but I'm saying. Like, when I looked at this cast, when I first looked at it, like Formelda was in like a top placement for me.
Yeah.
Astrid was a very top high placement for me.
Really?
So the people that I thought
That's not what
highly
you
of-
said during our review.
is it not what I said during our review?
No, you just said, I don't know a lot about her.
Oh yeah. I did. Well, I didn't, but I kind of wanted to see. Like, I just like mentally, I was like, well, they're gonna bring it. I did not expect them to not bring it. I thought Mary would have been out.
Earlier.
Yeah, last week.
Well, girl gag.
But I don't think they're going anywhere.
I think Mary will go home next or Bitter
I think
Betty.
Bitter Betty will go home next.
If she's up for, well, hey, what's her name? Erica Clash was in the bottom like 4 times.
Yeah.
So anything can happen.
Anything is possible.
Excited to see more of Saint for sure. And Coco, Dolly, now that she's here. So random that they just put her in now.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now, Zanny, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at zanny.ex. You can also find me on Twitter, it's just zanny.ex. And I mean, you can find me on Facebook at zanny.x as well.
Period. And I'm Tara Card. That's TerrahCard. You can find me under most platforms under that name. You can find this podcast under Stay on the Line Podcast on Instagram, Stay on the Line on Facebook, and then on Patreon. You can also find us there at patreon.com/stay on the line, which I'm going to read off my Patreon patrons. That's the word. Head over to patreon.com/stay on the line. Here are a couple of my patrons. So I have Shayna S at the Ghosted tier. At the Miss Caller tier, we have Brandon W, Nathan, Naughty by Nathan, Mystic Lee, Paula, the intern Paula. And then at our pee poo poo tier, our highest tier, we have Willow Whisper, Jordan Stock from It's All Gone Terribly Wrong, Kiki, Rock R, Jeremy C.com, Zachary M, Keith W, Jeffrey P, Chandler A, Sunny Days, Zingcat, Coronation, Winnie, and Rebecca Carlson, also from It's All Gone Terribly Wrong. So if you want to join the Patreon, head over to that link that I listed. You get the video addition to the podcast, as well as bonus content like vlogs, like sewing videos, and other fun things that I put out too.
I love that. I love that for them, and I love that for you.
So yeah, do you have any other comments that you would like to say?
I don't. I'm excited for next week, and I'm praying, I'm manifesting that it comes out at the right time.
Because we would have been over like 3 hours ago.
About to eat
We're
my
literally
chicken
finishing.
nuggies.
We're like literally finishing almost at the same time as last time. We're 9 minutes earlier.
If we just do
Period.
9 minutes early every single week, we'll finish before 4 a.m. one of these days.
Period. Until next time, make sure y'all stay on the line. Bye.
Bye.
No other way.
Bye.